Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, you've done this before. I just like to remind you this is not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box just a little bit. We communicate the best way we can, and they'll tell us what we need to know, not always what we want to know. So it's their ball game. I leave it up to them within reason. Okay, we're going to talk to Grandpa today. He's coming in very mellow, very slow moving, coming in energy, walking towards me anyway. Just very calm, mellow, very loving energy. I do love you. I am still watching out for you. Something about a race car. So I don't know if that means you've been driving too fast lately. You like NASCAR, you like races, wish they'd start again. Not, well, NASCAR is, but and also that you are racing around. Slow down and smell the roses. You need some of my energy. Him. He's talking about himself. You need some of my energy. Just laid back, calm, don't need the drama type of energy. Very smooth, very relaxing. He has a twinkle in his eye. It's like he sits back and observes, but he sees everything. He sees everything, but he's quietly sitting back in the background, just kind of watching like, okay, why are you doing that? I'm not going to say anything right now, but why are you doing that? Or I know why you're doing that. Or I'm not going to get involved in that. But I know what's going on. So I don't know if he's talking about when he was here or now. We should all be happy to be here no matter what's going on. Okay, now he's showing himself in a cart. It's black, that may not make any difference. With a horse pulling it. Horse in a cart. He's got a big long whip in his hand. He's driving the cart. Now, I don't know if this is something that he had when he was younger, or maybe you've recently ridden in one, or I'm not sure. It's up to them to explain. He says when you want some of that no drama, calm energy, call on him. Call on him and ask you to ask him to bring that energy to you. And it will help. You will honestly at some point get this sense of peace and love and calm and yeah, I don't want to be involved in that fight over there. Cookies, something about cookies. I heard chocolate chip, but he's showing me what look like sugar cookies. I don't know if you've recently made cookies. These were his favorite cookies. So watch for the smell of either one of these cookies. I guess they'll smell similar, like when you take them out of the oven. But watch for that smell, and you'll probably get a little whiff of it. You could be in the store, you can be outside, you can be in your car. Doesn't matter where you smell this. Know that that's him popping in to say, hey, I love you, checking on you. So make sure you validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring me more if you want more signs. Okay, he's showing me that you're sweeping something under the rug. Sweeping something under the rug. It's like he's lifted up the rug. I'm waiting to see if he's going to say more about it. I expected him to say that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he's not answering. He said it's a good thing for now. It's a good thing for now. It will come, but it will come out later. But right now it's okay to sweep it under the rug and let it go. For now. Something, Grandma. He mentions Grandma. Trying to see whose Grandma. Whose Grandma are we talking about? His Grandma. You know, you may not have known her. Probably not. Maybe you heard stories about her. Maybe he told you stories. Grandma's there with him. His Grandma. He says that's a good thing. Ooh, hear that bird? Can you hear that? Hang on, let me see if I can tell what kind it is. Okay. I don't know what kind of bird that was. The dog came up and scared it off before I could see it. Very good. It was a small bird, and I've heard it around here lately, but anything that happens while I'm doing a reading is for you. And I hope you could hear it, because he was loud. But he was... I know. Bad imitation. But he was kind of like a wren. He's bigger than a wren, but he was, you know how wrens jump around? They're nervous little twits. That's the way this one is. Sounded like a blue jay, but it wasn't. Anyway, watch for a bird like that. A bird that just won't stop. And it's louder than the others. A little bit annoying. Watch for this bird. That'll be another sign. And I have no clue what kind of bird it is. I've never seen it until recently. So he comes up and he squawks at the bird feeder when it's empty, even though I just filled it up. So he makes me run out there and feed them. He's like the little messenger. Every morning he comes up and squawks, and I go, oh, I need to feed him, and I go out and feed him. And even if you see a bird like that in a movie, on Facebook, doesn't matter. Could be an annoying little twit, or it could be the nervous little twit. Know that that's another sign from Grandpa. He's talking about schooling. Schooling's going to start. He's calling it schooling, though. Schooling. The way he's saying it, schooling's going to start. I don't know if this is just going to be lessons that you're going to start learning, different lessons you're going to start learning, or if your school, I don't know where you live, or if your schools have been shut down and they're going to start back up, or you're going to go back to school. I'm not sure, because he's saying schooling, something you're going to learn. Don't be afraid to get out and about. It's almost over. Then the party will start. I feel like he's talking more about the world, the maybe even the virus. Don't be afraid to get out and about. The party's about to start. So that means good things. This shit's going to be over pretty soon. It sounds like. So don't be afraid of it. Okay, he says, put your shoes on one foot at a time. I don't know, was this a saying he used to say? They don't usually explain very much. And I'm just going, I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't need to. I'm just his voice. Put your shoes on one foot at a time. And he's walking behind me, and he stops right square behind me. He says, I'm this close. I will not override your free will choice. I can't. But you can ask me for help. What would you like to do today that will be beneficial for you on your path long term? What would you like to do today? Even if it's a baby step, make one decision today that will take you one step closer to what your goal is. And you'll know what your goal is. You don't even have to know the exact goal. It's okay. You don't have to know the exact goal. You've got a path that you're going to live in this life. It's predestined, pretty much. Not all the details, because how do I explain this real quick? Not all the details are because you can do different things to get to the same point. I hope that makes sense. So, but he's saying, what's one step you can take today to move towards? And yeah, he's saying 5 years too. A lot of them lately have been saying, where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now? What would be your dream? What do you feel in your gut, in your soul, in your heart that you would really like to be or do, or where you would like to be, or where you would like to live, or what job you would like to have, whatever it is? He says, no, that millionaire with the mansion on the hill is not it. So he says, make one decision today and another one tomorrow and another one the next day until you take those baby steps. As you take those baby steps, just make one decision. I'm going to do this to get me closer to that long-term goal. He's showing like he's trying to pull you along. Like maybe you're stuck in a spot. Of course, it's it's hard not to be stuck right now. You can't really go anywhere and do anything like our USA is used to. So a lot of people feel like stuck in glue right now. But he says that's not it for you. You can still be doing things. He's making a big point of this. And he's like getting in front of you and grabbing your arms and pulling you. He's trying to pull you. And you're fighting it. He says, look ahead a little further. That's something I could never do when I was younger. I have no clue how old you are. I never set goals. I was just all, woo! Whatever happens, happens. He wants you to set, even if it's a teeny tiny goal, every single day. He's stressing this. He says, then watch how more free you feel and how more open you feel. And hopeful. You'll feel hopeful. You've jerked your head one way or the other and either thought you heard him, smelled him, felt him, saw him. Something that caused you to jerk your head. And the first person that you thought of was your grandpa. Know that was him. He's not showing me how you felt it or saw it or whatever. A lot of times you'll see them in your peripheral vision as they're walking through the room. Don't be afraid to talk to him. You're not keeping him from anything. They can go where they want when they want. You can't tie them down. People think if they think about them or talk to them too much that they're holding them back, from wherever they're supposed to be or doing or whatever. You can't tie a rope on them. Okay, so right now he's kicked back. He's outside, but it looks more like a wooden chair, but it's a there's a name for those chairs. I don't know if this makes any difference if there was an exact chair like this or not, so it's like a wooden chair, but it's laid back where you can lay back and kick back and be comfy. And there is, he's saying aunt, standing by him. Don't know if it's his aunt, your aunt. He hasn't said yet. She's, she looks close to his, she might be younger. Crap, I can't tell for sure. But she's got really, like, permed hair, like short, like really, really perm tight hair, kind of. So he wants you to know that she's there. She's waiting on him. She's bringing him a drink. She's bringing him something to drink. And there's a dog. Dark. He looks black. I'll say he's black, but at least he's very dark. Kind of, not little bitty, but kind of medium sized. Long tail, short hair. And he looks like a mutt, but I would put him like maybe in the terrier class. Little mutt with his ears folded over. And he's wagging his tail and looking at him with a lot of love. I'm assuming the way he's showing this, that the dog is with him now, and he wants somebody to know that. Or if somebody has this dog here, know that that dog sees him and hears him, because most animals and small children see him, hear him, no problem. It's only us older ones have been told we can't have an imaginary friend that can't see them anymore. And he's showing a cat. It's fat, very fat. I don't think it's pregnant fat. I think it's just fat. And it looks like a black and white cat. It's got a kind of a crook on the end of his tail. I believe he's letting somebody know that their loved fur babies are with him. Okay, he's taking a piece of spaghetti out of the pot, hanging it up, opening his mouth, and don't know if this is something he used to do, you used to do, you just did recently. Hangman. Hangman. Do you play hangman? Did you guys used to play hangman? He's talking about Cards Against Humanity. And he's slapping his knee and laughing hysterically. He wishes he would have been around for that game. He thinks it's hysterical. Love yourself before others. He doesn't mean that in a selfish way. He doesn't mean that to be egotistical or anything like that. You have to love yourself before others. If you don't love you, say it again. If you don't love you, nobody else can. I know what he means. Okay, he says you can have 100 people love you and not feel it if you don't have love for yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Love you first. Foremost, hold your head up high, sit up straight, be proud. Be proud of who you are. You're my girl. Be proud of us, our family. Carry on. Don't let it die here. We know who we are and what we are. Don't let it die here. Be proud. He says, even though there's a couple of hiccups in the family. And he's smiling when he says it. He's not saying it to be mean. You have an enormous amount of love in your heart. Let it out. Share it with the world. And be at peace with yourself. And allow me to help you with that. He says, most of them feel like a bunch of knuckleheads when they get up there and they look back on stuff and they see the real picture, and you see things with different eyes because they peel you like an onion. I always tell people they get all that heavy negative crap energy from Earth, and then you look back and you go, and why did I do that, and why did I say that, and why didn't I figure that out while I was there? Because he says, take the blinders off, see the world and people for what they truly are inside. Look at their soul, not their haircut or their face. Look at their soul and find the good in each and every one. Grandpa's lecturing a lot today. Now he's showing his horse and cart again, but he says, don't put the cart in front of the horse. Not sure what he's talking about. Oh my gosh, he said divine timing. I hate that word because it means be patient. It'll get here when it's supposed to get here. So he says you can sweep it under the rug for now because it will get here when it's supposed to get here. Divine timing. So he's going back to that, sweeping under the rug. He's a pretty smart dude. He says he could have accomplished a whole lot more in his life if he had looked at the world through different eyes. If he had, If he had looked further than a foot in front of him, he could have accomplished a whole lot more. But he's happy with what he did. He just didn't use his full potential. And that's what he's trying to get you to do. He says you don't want to be up here looking back and going, now why did I do that? And why didn't I get up off my ass and do that? Don't let fear stop you. And I always say fear is only an emotion, but it stops us from doing a lot of stuff. Fear is only an emotion. Okay, he's in a living room. Trying to. He's got a certain chair that he always sat in. Most of us do that. Had like a pole lamp or some kind of a lamp right over his head, right to the side a little bit. Did he ever smoke a pipe cigar? I'm not sure that I don't think it's a cigarette, and I can't quite distinguish the smell. So no, that could be another sign. You might smell that smoke, that different smoke. Usually it's just a little whiff. Again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him. He's also showing, I don't know if it's the couch or just a chair, that has like a doily, like way back in the day, like my grandparents' days. So I don't know how old your grandpa, how old you are, how old your grandpa was. I used to make crocheted doilies, but this one's thrown over the back of the chair, like where you put your head. And that was very common back in the day. So maybe that'll ring a bell where he's at. He says, I am doing fine. I'm comfy, I'm relaxed. Now I want you the same way. Let's see how we can make this happen. Allow me to help. You are perfect the way you are. Stop doubting that. I love you. I love you very much. You were always a bright spot in my life. And with that, he's going to leave. And he's riding this horse and cart as he leaves. He's driving the horse, sitting in the cart. The cart is black, if it makes any difference. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Thank you for being patient. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.